The spirits are apparently on their last legs, and this mysterious power called Spyrix is getting the blame. A dude named Fenmont is about to get a visit, because when the vibes are this off, you have to investigate. We get a whole lore drop about the world of Rieze Maxia. Basically, humans and spirits have this symbiotic relationship where they help each other out, fulfilling dreams and keeping the peace. Maxwell, the big boss of spirits, is the guardian of this whole setup, ensuring everything stays chill. Meet Jude, a med student who's just trying to get through his residency training. He's a total helper, stopping to assist someone who dropped a bunch of documents even though he's running late. It's giving classic protagonist energy. You just know his life is about to get complicated. Jude finally catches up to his professor but gets hit with a plot twist. Professor House has been called away for some top-secret research for the palace. He dumps all his patience on Jude for the day, which is definitely not part of the med student job description. People are coming in with a weird issue. They can't channel spirits correctly. It's like the spirits are just ghosting them mid-channel. Jude's patient, Mr. Eldon, describes it as the spirits just running off. Something is seriously messing with the spiritual Wi-Fi in this town. Just when Jude thinks his day can't get weirder, someone shows up announcing that Professor House has won the Hal Prize, a massive research award. The only problem? No one knows where the professor went for his secret research. Jude, being the only one with a clue, gets sent to find him. Jude makes it to the research lab but gets stonewalled by the guards. They claim Professor House already left, but the sign-in sheet looks super sketchy. Jude's gut is telling him something is off, but the guards aren't letting him in, leaving him to figure out a new plan. While trying to sneak into the lab, Jude runs into a mysterious girl. She's not playing around and tells him to keep quiet or get hurt. She's clearly on a mission and has no time for a random med student getting in her way. The tension is real. Jude manages to get inside but is quickly caught by a researcher who tries to escort him out. Things take a dark turn when the researcher's friendly demeanor flips, and he tries to capture Jude, revealing that Professor House is also being held captive. This is not a normal lab. After fighting his way through some sketchy lab staff, Jude finds himself in a massive, sprawling facility. He realizes that finding his professor is going to be like finding a needle in a haystack. The whole situation is spiraling, and nothing is making any sense to him. Jude finally finds his professor, but he's trapped in some horrifying machine. A woman in red appears, confirming she's behind all this, and that Jude is next on her list. The vibe goes from confusing to straight-up terrifying as he realizes he's about to die. The mysterious girl from before, Milla, swoops in to save Jude. She summons Ifrit, the Lord of Fire, which is a major power move. It's clear Milla is not just some random trespasser. She's a seriously powerful being who came here to handle business. Jude and Milla's Lilium orbs start glowing, a sign that they can sync up and fight together. Milla explains it's a tool that lets them tap into their abilities to fight monsters. It's Jude's first time using it, and it seems like their journey together is officially kicking off. After the fight, Milla reveals she tried to go easy on the woman in red because humans are fragile. She casually mentions having to tell the Four not to overdo it, leaving Jude completely lost. It's becoming clear that Milla operates on a totally different level of existence. Milla finds what she's been looking for, a massive weapon called the Lance of Kresnik. She identifies it as a Spyrix weapon and declares her mission is to destroy it because it harms both humans and spirits. She summons the 4 great spirits, revealing her true identity, Maxwell. As Milla tries to destroy the weapon, it activates and begins draining mana directly from her and the 4 great spirits. The machine is way more powerful than she anticipated, and it traps the spirits, effectively stripping Milla of her godlike powers. Things just got a lot harder. After a narrow escape that involves a lot of water, Jude pulls an unconscious Milla to safety. She's lost the power of the 4 great spirits and is now vulnerable. Milla tries to send Jude home, thanking him for his help, but it's obvious her mission is far from over. With the military closing in, Jude makes a choice. He decides he can't leave Milla to fend for herself, especially now that she's a fugitive just like him. After he saves her from being captured, Milla seems to accept his help, and they decide to stick together to escape Fenmont. Their escape gets complicated when they're recognized by Mr. Eldon, who is now with the military police. They have a warrant for Jude and Milla's arrest. Just when it seems like they're cornered, a smooth-talking stranger named Alvin shows up, creating a diversion for them to escape. Alvin gets them onto a ship heading out of Fenmont, introducing himself as a mercenary. He's charming, but definitely in it for the money, offering his services for a price. Unfortunately for him, Milla and Jude are both broke, so it looks like he did this good deed for free. Now, in the new country of All, Milla decides she needs to learn how to fight without her spirit powers. She asks Alvin, a seasoned mercenary, to teach her how to use a sword. He agrees, but on the condition that they make some money by taking on local jobs. The group takes on their first job, exterminating some strange monsters near a local lake. This setup works for everyone. Alvin gets paid, and Milla gets some real-world combat training. It's a practical solution to their current problems, turning them into a makeshift team of monster hunters. During their journey, Jude finally asks the big question, and Milla confirms it. She is Maxwell, the Lord of Spirits. She explains that her human form is just a vessel she created for herself. Alvin is skeptical, but Jude is starting to believe the wild stories. Alvin finds a key-like object that Milla dropped, which was surging with mana when the Lance of Kresnik activated. He tries to subtly ask her about it, but she's sharp and calls him out for sneaking up on her. It's clear Milla is still guarded and hyper-aware of her surroundings. After successfully defeating the monsters, Milla feels the physical toll of battle without her powers. For the first time, she experiences hunger, something the spirits use to handle for her. The group decides to rest at an inn, and Milla has her first real meal. Jude confides in Alvin about Milla being Maxwell. Alvin is having a hard time believing that the girl sleeping in the next room is a literal deity. Jude explains that she was with the 4 great spirits, which adds weight to her claim, leaving Alvin to ponder the implications. Milla announces her plan to return to her shrine in Niara, believing she can resummon the 4 great spirits there. She formally asks Jude to accompany her, feeling responsible for his current situation as a fugitive. After some thought, Jude agrees to go with her on this new quest. On the road, Alvin is still not fully convinced Milla is Maxwell. Jude recounts seeing her with all 4 great spirits in person, Ifrit, Undine, Sylph, and Gnome. This first-hand account is enough to make Alvin seriously consider that their new companion is indeed a legendary being. The group arrives in a small village and meets the mayor, who tells them Niara is an old, forgotten village located beyond the Kajara Sea Falls. The journey sounds tough, so they decide to rest in the village, accepting the mayor's offer to stay at her house. Milla explains to Jude and Alvin why she took a human form. As a spirit, she's just a mass of mana and needs a physical catalyst to interact with the world. She chose a human body because it contains all 4 elements, making it the perfect vessel for her powers. Jude asks Milla about the Spyrix, the technology she's trying to destroy. Milla is hesitant to explain, comparing humanity's relationship with it to a toddler playing with a knife. She believes it's a power humans were never meant to have, and it's her mission to protect the world from it. Their rest is cut short when Rashugal soldiers show up in the village, clearly tracking them. The group has to make a quick escape before they're caught. It seems like being on the run is going to be a constant theme for them as long as they are together. A young girl with a strange doll creates a diversion, allowing the group to slip past the soldiers. Her mysterious power distracts the troops long enough for Jude, Milla, and Alvin to make their way out of the village and continue their journey toward the Kajara Sea Falls. On their way to the falls, Milla's cold, mission-focused attitude clashes with Jude's concern for the villagers they left behind. Alvin calls her out, prompting Jude to tell Milla she doesn't have to act like a god all the time. He advises her to just be herself. The journey is physically taxing on Milla, who isn't used to walking long distances. She jokes that the 4 great spirits used to carry her everywhere, comparing them to bickering in-laws. This moment of humor shows a more human side of her, breaking from her usual stoicism. The group is ambushed by a mysterious woman who seems to know Alvin. She manages to get Milla in a vulnerable position, but Jude quickly formulates a plan. He directs Alvin to shoot a nearby rock, which reveals a camouflaged monster that then attacks the woman, creating an escape. They finally arrive at Niara, Milla's home. The villagers immediately recognize her as Lord Maxwell and treat her with reverence, which finally convinces Alvin that she's the real deal. Milla, however, seems uncomfortable with the formalities and quickly gets down to business. Milla needs to perform a ritual to resummon the 4, but her handmaid Ivar is missing. She asks Jude and Alvin for help, as the other villagers are too intimidated to interact with her directly. Their task is to gather 4 temporal stones and bring them to her shrine. As Milla begins the ritual, her handmaid Ivar returns, frantic and worried. The ritual fails, and Milla realizes she can't summon the 4. The group theorizes that the Lance of Kresnik didn't kill the spirits, but instead captured them, a feat previously thought to be impossible. Ivar, Milla's overzealous handmaid, is not happy about Jude and Alvin's presence. He blames them for Milla's predicament and declares that he will be the only one to serve her from now on. His short temper and dramatic flair are on full display, much to everyone's annoyance. Jude decides he wants to continue helping Milla on her mission to destroy the Lance of Kresnik. He feels responsible for what happened and wants to see it through to the end. Milla reveals she was planning to sneak off alone to avoid dragging him into more trouble. Alvin reveals he's being paid to stick around by the villagers, who want someone to protect Milla. With his fee covered, he officially rejoins the group. Just as he does, the village elder arrives with the payment, solidifying Alvin's role as their hired muscle for the time being. With Milla's decision made, she prepares to leave Niara. Ivar protests, wanting to go with her, but Milla reminds him of his duty to protect the village. She entrusts him with this task, confirming that Jude will be her companion on the journey back to Fenmont. Alvin rejoins the group, explaining that Ivar hired him to continue protecting Milla. With the team reassembled, their new plan is to head to Hamil to investigate Rashugal's movements. This detour might give them clues on how to sneak back into Fenmont and confront the Lance. Returning to Hamil, they find the village in disarray. The villagers are hostile and blame them for the trouble caused by Rashugal's army. It's clear their previous escape had serious consequences for the townspeople, who now see them as nothing but trouble. Jude meets Elise, the young girl who helped them escape before. She's being bullied by the villagers along with her talking doll, Tipo. Jude stands up for her and learns that a big guy named Jiao, who seems to be her guardian, is the reason for her complicated situation. Feeling responsible for Elise's plight, Jude convinces the group to take her with them. Milla agrees, seeing it as part of Jude's own journey to find his purpose. She makes it clear, however, that if Elise slows them down, she won't hesitate to leave her behind. With Elise now part of the group, introductions are made. Alvin is completely thrown off by Tipo, Elise's talking stuffed animal. Milla, being a spirit in human form, is unfazed, which only adds to the strange dynamic of their newly formed party. On the ship, Jude feels a pang of guilt, realizing he's putting Elise in danger. Milla's cold attitude towards the situation makes him question her compassion. Alvin uses this moment to pry, asking Jude what Milla stole from the lab that has the military so worked up. The group hits a military checkpoint, forcing them to take a detour through the treacherous deepwood forest to reach their next destination, Charlton. Milla is pragmatic about the risks, reminding Jude that bringing Elise along meant accepting these dangers. Elise, determined not to be a burden, agrees to go. In the deep wood, the group is attacked, and Elise reveals her surprising power as a healer. Her spirit arts are incredibly strong for her age, saving them from a tough spot. This display proves she's more than capable of holding her own and will be a valuable asset to the team. Milla is impressed by Elise's intuitive ability to channel spirits, noting that it's a rare talent similar to her own. She takes on a protective, almost motherly role, advising Elise to prioritize her own safety in battle, showing a softer side than she usually lets on. Jiao, Elise's imposing guardian, catches up to them in the forest. He demands they hand Elise over, but she refuses, wanting to stay with her new friends. Jiao is relentless, leading to a confrontation as the group stands their ground to protect Elise from being taken. After being defeated, Jiao seems to have a change of heart. He acknowledges that Elise wants to stay with her friends and cryptically states that he's not taking her back by choice. He warns them that they'll bring her nothing but trouble before disappearing into a cloud of spores. The group arrives in Charlton, but the city is tense due to the king's personal guards investigating a break-in at a military lab in the capital, the very one they were involved in. They realize they need to lay low to avoid being caught. They meet a young noblewoman named Drissel and her butler, Rowan. Milla helps Drissel avoid buying a fake antique, impressing them both. Driesel invites them for tea at her manor, an offer they accept as a way to stay off the streets and out of the guards' sight. Alvin secretly meets with Driesel's brother, Lord Klein, and trades information. He reveals Jude and Milla's involvement in the lab incident in exchange for intel. Klein, who opposes the current king, Noctigal, tells them Noctigal is the one behind the human experiments, giving Milla a direct target. Their cover is blown when soldiers recognize them from wanted posters. Rowan, revealing himself as a skilled fighter, masterfully disorients the soldiers, creating an escape opportunity. It's clear the old butler is much more than he appears, and his loyalty to Klein is absolute. Rowan asks for their help. King Noctigal has arrived in Sherrilton and is drafting citizens into his service, likely for more experiments. Lord Klein has gone to confront him, and Rowan fears for his safety. The group agrees to help, unable to ignore the injustice. At Burmia Gorge, the group finds the drafted citizens being used in another horrific, mana-draining experiment. The military is on high alert, but Alvin creates a daring diversion, drawing enemy fire so the others can find a way to stop the machine and save everyone. Rowan devises a plan to ride a wave of spirit energy down into the gorge to destroy the machine's core. It's a risky, one-shot chance, but it's the only way to save Lord Klein and the captured citizens. They brace themselves for a turbulent dive into the heart of the experiment. After a chaotic battle against a monstrous creature born from the experiment, they successfully rescue Klein and the citizens. The machine's destruction releases a flood of lesser spirits, a beautiful but somber reminder of the life that was being consumed. The immediate threat is over, but the larger conspiracy remains. Lord Klein, grateful for their help, offers to facilitate their passage through Fort Gandala to reach Fenmont. He reveals his formal opposition to King Noctigal, essentially declaring a state of near war. The group accepts his offer, finally having a clear path to their objective. Jude, feeling responsible for Elise, asks Rowan if the Sherrill family would be willing to take her in. He believes she would be safer and happier with Driesel. Rowan, understanding Jude's burden, agrees to discuss the matter with Klein and Driesel, offering a potential safe haven for Elise. Tragedy strikes when Lord Klein is assassinated by one of Noctigal's personal guards. At the same time, the Rashigal army invades Sherrilton, throwing the city into chaos. It's a clear, calculated move by Noctigal to seize complete control and eliminate any opposition. During the invasion, Milla, Driesel, and Elise are captured and taken to Fort Gandala. Rowan deduces their location and formulates a plan to rescue them that very night. He knows the troops will be exhausted and that they have an inside man, giving them a critical advantage. The rescue mission hits a snag. The prisoners are fitted with explosive hex shackles that will detonate if they try to escape. The only way to save them is to seize the fortress's control room and deactivate the entire security system, a task made harder because its location is unknown. Rowan confronts Noctigal, revealing his identity as Rowan Ilbert, the legendary strategist known as the Conductor. He once served with Noctigal but left the army in disillusionment. Their reunion is tense, filled with history and betrayal, as Rowan now stands firmly against his former friend. In a brutal turn of events, Noctigal critically injures Milla before making his escape. The group is forced to retreat with a badly wounded Milla, leaving the fortress behind. Their rescue mission was a partial success, but it came at a devastating cost to their strongest member. Back at the Xillia Manor, Jude tends to Milla, whose life hangs in the balance. While she rests, Alvin reveals his new employer and bails on the group. He justifies it as a mercenary's pragmatism, but his departure leaves a bitter taste, especially at such a critical moment. Milla survives, but the attack has left her legs completely paralyzed. Despite this, she remains fiercely determined to continue her mission. Her unbreakable will frustrates Jude, who can't understand how she can push forward when she can't even walk. Their differing perspectives create a rift between them. Jude has a change of heart, remembering a procedure his father once performed to heal paralysis. He proposes they travel to his hometown of La Ronde, offering a sliver of hope. He admits he can't stop Milla, so his only choice is to help her move forward, one way or another. Ivar, Milla's handmaid, tracks them down, furious at Jude for Milla's condition. Milla, however, devises a clever plan. She entrusts Ivar with the Spyrix key, giving him a vital mission to protect it, which successfully convinces him to return to Niara and leave them be. Jude reunites with his childhood friend, Leia, who is now working as a nurse at his parents' clinic. The reunion is a mix of awkwardness and familiarity. Leia is a ball of energy, quickly taking charge of the situation and getting Milla the medical attention she needs. Jude's father, a brilliant but cold doctor, refuses to perform the healing procedure on Milla, calling it impossible in her weakened state. He's harsh and dismissive, creating a tense confrontation with Jude, who is desperate to find a way to help Milla walk again. Jude and Leia discover the procedure requires a spirit fossil, a rare stone with latent mana. Milla's father explains that these fossils lose their power quickly after being uncovered. Leia remembers hearing that spirit fossils were once found in the nearby Felgana mine, giving them a new destination. Inside the mine, they find small spirit fossil fragments, but the source of the ringing sound they hear seems to be moving. They follow the trail deeper into the mine, realizing that whatever holds the main fossil is not just a stationary rock. The mystery and danger are escalating. They discover the spirit fossil is embedded in the head of a giant monstrous creature. Leia, in a moment of reckless bravery, tries to grab it, prompting the monster to attack. Jude and Leia are quickly overwhelmed, facing a beast powered by the very thing they need. Just as they are about to be defeated, Milla arrives, having used the Aspirus with a small fossil fragment to temporarily move. She defeats the monster, but the effort causes her to pass out. They have the fossil, but Milla has pushed herself to her absolute limit. Milla has fully recovered and can walk again. As they prepare to leave, Jude's mother confronts him with a wanted poster, revealing his fugitive status. She questions Milla's influence, but before Jude can explain, their other friends, Elise and Rowan, make a surprise appearance. The group discusses their next move. With Milla healed, their focus returns to the Lance of Kresnik. Rowan reveals that King Noctigal is behind it, confirming Milla's suspicions. They decide they can't reach Fenmont through Fort Gandala and must find an alternate route through Ol. Just as they are about to depart, Alvin shows up again, claiming his last job fell through. He smoothly talks his way back into the group, his timing as impeccable as ever. With Alvin, Elise, and Rowan rejoining, the full party is back together for the next leg of their journey. Leia, feeling left out and inspired by Milla, decides she's coming along too. She literally jumps into a barrel and stows away on the ship. Her bold move convinces Milla to let her join, officially adding the final member to their eclectic and now quite large party. Jude asks Milla about the key she gave to Ivar. She confirms it's the Spyrix needed to operate the lance. She explains that Spyrix technology allows anyone, regardless of their innate mana capacity, to wield powerful arts, which is precisely why it's so dangerous and must be destroyed. The group is unexpectedly attacked by the Lord of Ludum, a massive monster that should have been timid. Its aggression suggests the spirit climb isn't shifting properly, likely due to the 4 great spirits being captured. This means Fezzel Marsh, their path to Fenmont, will be impassable. With the marsh blocked, Ivar suggests they find a clan in the city of Charlton that raises wyverns. It's their only viable option for reaching Fenmont now. The group sets a new course for Charlton, hoping to secure some unconventional air transport for their journey. Upon arriving in Charlton, Leia is nearly hit by a falling rock, but is saved by Rowan. A kind local woman named Isla helps tend to Rowan's minor injury. This seemingly random act of kindness will soon prove to be much more than a coincidence for the group. They meet Jurgen of the Qatar clan, the keepers of the wyverns. He's in a bind because his clan's champion for an upcoming martial arts tournament is unavailable. He strikes a deal with them. If they win the tournament for his clan, he'll lend them the wyverns. While exploring Charlton, Jude learns about the cultural significance of the tournament. The city's history is steeped in clan conflict, and the tournament serves as a way to unify them under a shared respect for strength. It's a high-stakes event that determines power and prestige among the clans. Elise has a moment of fragmented memory, recognizing Charlton and remembering something about her parents. The bell for the tournament rings before she can process it, forcing them to head to the arena. It's a hint that her forgotten past is tied to this city. After winning their preliminary matches, the group is offered a celebratory meal. However, Rowan detects the scent of poison in the food. The celebration turns to horror as other contestants who ate the meal die, revealing a sinister plot to sabotage the tournament and target them. Milla reveals the assassination attempt was the work of Exodus, an organization that has been hunting her for 20 years. She explains that every time a Spyrix is used, it kills spirits, disrupting the world's balance. Her lifelong mission has been to fight Exodus and destroy their technology. The tournament is set to resume, but with a shocking twist. The rules have been changed to a one-on-one fight to the death. Alvin confesses he's been working for Exodus and that this is their plot to kill Milla. He claims he wants out and reveals their plan. The final match begins, but it's a trap. Milla's opponent uses a Spyrix, and simultaneously, Exodus agents kidnap Elise, revealing their true target was Tippo. Alvin, seeking to prove his loyalty, goes after them alone while the rest of the group is left to deal with the chaos. The group tracks Alvin and Elise to the royal hunting grounds. They find footprints, confirming they are on the right trail. The forest is dangerous, but they press on, determined to rescue their friends and uncover why Exodus was so interested in a talking doll. They find Alvin and Elise, but Tippo has been altered. An Exodus agent ripped a component out of him, and now he just repeats a single phrase. It's revealed that Tipo is a booster, a device that amplifies mana, and Exodus needed his data. They stumble upon an abandoned laboratory where Jiao appears. He reveals this is where Elise was raised, and that Tipo is a third-generation booster. The bombshell drops when he tells Elise her parents were murdered by a bandit when she was 4, shattering her hopes of finding them. The group confronts Xillia, who confesses to working with Exodus. She was blackmailed because of her past as someone who gathered orphans for the lab experiments. She begs them not to tell her fiancé, Jurgen. Elise, heartbroken and numb, decides she doesn't care, leaving Xillia to her guilt. With their business in Charlton concluded, the group prepares to head to the capital, Canvalar, to meet the king of all. They hope to warn him about Rashagal's impending war and get answers about the booster laboratory. Their journey into the heart of Owl's politics is just beginning. The group arrives in Canvalar, a stunning city built into a mountain range. They are immediately impressed by its unique architecture, especially the mountain slide cars used for transport. As they wait for Jurgen to arrange an audience with the king, they decide to explore the city. Elise, still reeling from the recent revelations, lashes out at Leia. Rowan steps in, gently explaining that her grief is causing her to hurt her friends. This intervention leads to a heartfelt apology and reconciliation between Elise and Leia, strengthening their bond. Jurgen returns with surprising news. The king was already expecting them and has granted an immediate audience. This unexpected welcome makes the group suspicious, but they have no choice but to proceed. They head to the castle, wary of a potential trap. They meet King Gaius of Owl, a powerful and charismatic leader. Milla confronts him about the booster experiments and the impending war. Gaius is unapologetic, revealing a rigid philosophy that the strong must guide the weak, and that his experiments were a necessary part of that. The audience takes a shocking turn when Alvin betrays them again, holding Leia hostage. He reveals Milla's secret about the key to King Gaius. It's a devastating blow, as Alvin was working for Gaius all along. Just then, news arrives that Rashagal has attacked, and war has officially begun. With war declared, Gaius no longer needs the group. He orders their capture, but Leia, using Tipo, who was cleverly left with a guard, creates a distraction. They manage to escape the throne room, now enemies of both major nations, with nowhere left to turn. As they escape, they are confronted by Prisa, one of Gaius's elite warriors. She reveals Alvin sold them out back in Niara. His betrayal runs deeper than they could have imagined, showing he has been playing a long game, manipulating them from the very beginning. Alvin shows up again, having thrown Gaius's men off their trail. He asks for another chance, but no one trusts him. He seems to have bought them some time, but his motives are as murky as ever, leaving the group to decide if they can afford to believe him again. With Jurgen's help, they finally secure the Wyverns. As they prepare to fly to Fenmont, Drissel and the people of Charlton see them off. It's a brief moment of peace before they head into the heart of the conflict, their destination finally within reach. As they approach Fenmont, the city's defenses are on high alert. They find the lab has been blown up by an all spy, Agria, the woman in red from their first encounter. The lance of Kresnik is gone, presumably moved to the royal palace before the explosion. They confront Agria, who confirms she tried to destroy the lance. She is revealed to be a member of the Chimeriad, Gaius's elite guard, and a noble from one of Rashigal's ruling houses. Her motives are twisted by a tragic past, and she refuses to cooperate, seeing their ideals as naive. Finding the palace surprisingly unguarded, Rowan explains that in wartime, troops are deployed to the borders, not the capital. This gives them a window of opportunity. They decide to press their advantage and infiltrate the palace to find the lance and confront Noctigal. They finally confront King Noctigal. He is arrogant and unrepentant, believing his birthright gives him the power to sacrifice his people for his ambitions. The final battle begins as Rowan faces his old friend, and the group prepares to take down the tyrant king once and for all. They defeat Noctigal, but before Rowan can make him answer for his crimes, he is killed by mysterious arrows. The lance of Kresnik vanishes from its chamber at the same time. Their victory is cut short by a new, unknown enemy who has stolen the very weapon they sought to destroy. War officially breaks out between Rashigal and Owl. The group learns that Gilland, Noctigal's second-in-command, has taken the lance to Fiesel Marsh, planning to use it to wipe out the Owl army. They have no choice but to head straight into a massive battlefield. They learn the Owl army is crossing the impassable marsh by using boosters to temporarily change the spirit climb. Rashigal is countering with their own boosters. It's a war fought with advanced technology, and the group must navigate this magical arms race to reach Gilland in time. On the battlefield, they are intercepted by the Chimeriad, Gaius's elite warriors. They are determined to seize the lance for their king. The group is now caught between two armies and a third faction, all vying for control of the world-ending weapon. They finally reach the lance, only to find King Gaius already there. He intends to take the lance to protect his people by dominating the world. His ideals clash with Milla's, leading to a philosophical and physical battle between two incredibly powerful leaders with conflicting visions for the future. Just as Gaius is about to seize the lance, Ivar arrives with the key. He unlocks the lance, intending to restore Milla's powers, but it backfires. The lance was never a weapon. It was a device designed to break the schism, the barrier separating their world from another. Gilland reveals himself as the true mastermind, a member of Exodus from the other world, Olympus. He used Noctigal to build the lance to get home. He summons Celsius, spirit of ice, and his flying ships, revealing the true scale of his operation. In the ensuing chaos, Jiao makes a horrifying confession to Elise. He was the bandit who killed her parents. He sacrifices himself to protect her from Gilland, finding redemption in his final moments. His death is a profound and tragic turning point for Elise. Jude is separated from the group and sucked into a vortex. He learns from Gilland's agents about the schism. He is then found by a new spirit, Musette, who claims to be Milla's sister and was sent by her. She tethers with Jude to help him find Milla and the others. Jude reunites with Elise and a very guilty-looking Alvin. Alvin confesses that Gilland lied to him as well, and he had no idea about the true plan. He asks for another chance to help them, and Jude, despite the others' distrust, reluctantly agrees to let him tag along. They finally find Milla and the rest of the group. The reunion is joyous but brief. Musette's introduction as Milla's sister is confusing, but before they can get answers, Gilland appears on screens across the city, declaring his intention to bring peace to Rieze Maxia under Exodus's rule. Milla reveals the full truth. 2 millennia ago, she created the Schism to seal Rieze Maxia away from Olympus to protect it from Spirits. Exodus are Olympians who were trapped here 20 years ago and want to go home. The lance was their key to breaking the barrier. Alvin drops another bombshell. Gillen's real plan is the Otherworld Reactor plan. He wants to turn Rieze Maxia into a fuel source for Olympus by harvesting its spirits and people who possess mana lobes. His goal isn't to go home, but to exploit this new world. The group decides to hijack one of Exodus's flying ships to reach their headquarters. Gaius, also opposing Gillen, forms a temporary, uneasy alliance with them. They split up to create a diversion and storm the castle where the ships are docked, ready for a high-stakes infiltration. They successfully capture a ship, but Ivar, in his usual bumbling fashion, accidentally activates its weapon systems while trying to fly it. They manage to fight off the rogue drones and, with Gaius's forces providing backup, secure their ride to the final confrontation. Aboard the captured ship, Gillen launches his plan, using the lance to absorb mana from across the entire world. The energy drain affects everyone, but Milla powers through it. Their course is set for the Zenithra, Exodus's massive flying fortress and the source of the world's suffering. Rieze stays behind to defend their ship from Exodus reinforcements, showcasing her incredible power. Her sacrifice allows the main group to press on. Milla thanks her sister, acknowledging the bond between them as they head into the heart of the enemy stronghold. On the Zenithra, Alvin reveals a crucial piece of information. People from Olympus don't have mana lobes. They are physically incapable of using spirit arts, which is why they are so dependent on Spyrix technology. This explains their world's decline and their desperation to exploit Rieze Maxia. They confront Gillen, who reveals that Celsius is not a true spirit but a spyrite, an artificial spirit created from a fossil using booster technology. He mockingly thanks Elise, as Tippo's data was the key to perfecting this technology and enabling his plan to turn Rieze Maxia into a power source. They defeat Gillen, but his dying words are a chilling warning. His plan can still proceed as long as the schism exists. Just as they process this, Alvin's uncle appears and kills Gillen, revealing a family connection and a deeper layer to Alvin's tortured past. A powerful art traps them. Milla realizes the only way to break free and end the threat for good is to use the Lance of Kresnik to dispel her own schism. This is a suicidal act, as her life force is tied to it. Despite everyone's desperate pleas, she prepares to sacrifice herself. Milla sacrifices herself, but the schism remains. Rieze reveals the devastating truth. The Milla they knew was a decoy, a fake Maxwell created to lure out Exodus. Her entire existence and mission were a lie. Jude is shattered, and Rieze, fulfilling her true mission, tries to kill them all. In his grief, Jude loses the will to fight. Alvin, also broken, provokes Jude into a fight, leading to Leia getting shot when she jumps in front of Jude. The group completely fractures as Alvin's self-loathing and Jude's despair collide in a tragic, violent confrontation. Leia, despite being injured, talks Jude down. She reminds him that Milla died so they could live, and they have to honor that by thinking for themselves now. This finally breaks through Jude's grief, and he realizes he must carry on Milla's will, not by following but by choosing his own path. Jude decides his new mission is to find the real Maxwell and the truth. The others, inspired by his renewed resolve, agree to join him. Their first stop is to find Ivar, hoping Milla's handmaid might have some knowledge about the spirit realm and the location of the true Maxwell. The group finds Fenmont occupied by Gaius, who has united the armies of All and Rashagal to fight Musette and the invading Olympians. He agrees to let them search for Maxwell, seeing their goals as temporarily aligned. He allows them passage to the Nia Kara Halomont, their best lead. They find a bitter and defeated Ivar guarding the path. He challenges Jude one last time, wanting to prove his worth. After his defeat, Jude shows him compassion, acknowledging that neither of them was special, but they can choose to be better. Ivar, humbled, finally lets them pass. At the summit, they are ambushed by the remnants of the Chimeriad, Presa and Agria, who are now protecting Gaius's interests. Alvin is forced to confront his past, fighting and ultimately losing Presa, his former comrade. Agria also dies, finding a strange peace in her final moments with Leia. They enter the temporal crossroads and meet the true Maxwell, a cold, pragmatic god. He explains he created Rieze Maxia as an ark to save mana users from the Spyrix-plagued Olympus. He sees Milla as a mere tool and Jude's desire to unite the worlds as foolish, attacking them. In the middle of the fight, Milla is resurrected. The four great spirits, acting on their own will, defied Maxwell and brought her back. She is no longer just a decoy, but a true being with her own convictions. Together, the group stands united against the god who created their world. With Milla's own will and the group's conviction, they defeat Maxwell. Humbled, he agrees to dispel the schism, releasing its mana to sustain the spirits for a few decades, buying them time. However, Gaius appears, intending to take Maxwell's place as the new god of Rieze Maxia. Musette, now loyal to Gaius, uses her power to trap Maxwell and send the group to Olympus, while Gaius stays behind. Her goal is to ensure Gaius can rule Rieze Maxia unopposed. Maxwell sacrifices himself to send Jude and Milla after them, ensuring the fight for the future can continue. Now in Olympus, they meet Alvin's cousin, Balin, a Spyrix engineer. They learn that life in this world is bleak and sterile, completely dependent on technology. Balin's own prosthetic leg is powered by a Spyrix, highlighting how ingrained the technology is in their society. Jude learns that his namesake, Dr. Mathis, was a pioneer in medical Spyrix technology on Olympus before he died. This revelation challenges Jude's black and white view of Spyrix, forcing him to see that the technology he despises also saves lives and isn't inherently evil. Their exploration is cut short when Helioborg, the research city, is attacked by Gaius and Musette. Gaius is systematically destroying all Spyrixes, believing it's the only way to save Olympus from its self-destructive path. The group rushes to find Balan and confront Gaius. Trapped in an elevator, the group works together to tether with the Spyrite, Volt, to restore power. Their combined effort succeeds, and they rescue Balin and his patients. This act demonstrates their potential to work together and find solutions beyond simple destruction. Balan reveals the true potential of Spyrites. They are created by infusing mana into spirit fossils and don't kill spirits when used. This technology offers a sustainable path forward for Olympus, a way to have power without destruction. It's the answer they've been searching for. With a solution in hand, the group must decide their next move. Milla and Jude are determined to confront Gaius and show him this new path. But they want their friends to choose for themselves. The final decision rests on whether to return home or stay and fight for this new future. The entire group decides to stay and fight. They accept their roles as unsung heroes, ready to face Gaius and create a future where both worlds can coexist. With their resolve solidified, they use Muse's power to tear a rift back to the temporal crossroads for the final battle. The group gets separated in the chaotic crossroads. They fight their way through, eventually reuniting with Leia, then Rowan and Elise. Wingle, Gaius's loyal commander, makes a final stand and is defeated, his unwavering loyalty to his king costing him his life. They finally reach Gaius and Musate. Jude presents his solution, a future built on spy rights and cooperation. But Gaius, set in his path of destruction, refuses to listen. The final battle begins, a clash of ideals between those who would save the world through force and those who would save it through hope. They emerge victorious. Gaius accepts defeat, acknowledging the strength of Jude's conviction. However, Musate, lost without a master to guide her, remains a threat. In a final, selfless act, Milla decides to become the new Maxwell, sacrificing her human form to watch over the spirits and guide Muse. In the aftermath, the world begins to heal. The epilogue shows each character finding their new path. Alvin starts a business connecting the two worlds. Leia finds her dream. Elise goes to school, and Rowan becomes a teacher. Jude continues his research, forever connected to Milla, the new Lord of Spirits.